Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Danusia. I'm an admissions counselor here at the University of Minnesota. And with me today are two current students, Gabe and Catalina. And to begin with today, we're going to take a quick look at the University of Minnesota. The university was founded in 1851. This was 7 years before Minnesota became a state. Now, if you look at the University of Minnesota, we're actually located in two cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. In order for students to get back and forth between the two colleges, the campus has free buses that go on roads that only our university can use that take students back and forth. All 50 states are represented here at the University of Minnesota and more than 140 plus countries, so a very diverse campus. There's also 130 plus majors offered, so a wide variety for students to choose from. If students maybe don't know what they want to major in, there is an opportunity for students to build their own major. What they graduate with is a BIS. That stands for a Bachelor of Individualized Studies. We also have graduate and professional programs if students want to pursue schooling after their undergraduate careers. And we are part of the Big Ten Conference. We have 23 Division I sports at the University of Minnesota. This is men's and women's hockey, men's and women's basketball, football, swimming, diving, men's and women's golf. You name it, we probably have it. Minnesota is also, the University of Minnesota is also Minnesota's only public research institution and one of the top public research universities in the country. One of the things we very much pride ourselves in at the University of Minnesota is academics. We have, like I said, 130 plus majors offered and over 100 minors at the University of Minnesota. The academic preparation for students can be rigorous depending on the major they would like to go into. Your college is your home at the University of Minnesota. There are 7 colleges, freshman admitting colleges, so when freshmen apply to the University of Minnesota, they are admitted to one of those 7. Those 7 have 130 plus majors to choose from. There are the graduate professional programs, which I mentioned earlier. And the student community at the University of Minnesota is absolutely tremendous. Club sports, intramural sports, cultural groups, religious groups, you name it, we probably have it. I'll get into it in a little bit, but there are over 800 plus student groups, all of which are listed online. The honors program at the University of Minnesota, a very enriched program. It's built on 3 pillars. The first is class size. Honors courses are typically smaller in class size than what you may see outside of honors courses. Another is advising. We have 15 full-time advisors at the University of Minnesota that work in tandem with your academic advisor to kind of help you schedule classes, meet honors requirements, those types of things. There's also community. Students are given the option to live in the Honors Residence Hall. It's the Honors Living and Learning Community on campus. This is located in Middlebrook Hall on the west bank of our Minneapolis campus. The Minneapolis campus itself is actually split in 2 by the Mississippi River. There's an east bank and a west bank, east of the Mississippi and west of the Mississippi. Middlebrook Hall is actually located on the west bank of the Minneapolis campus. Honors programs are cross-disciplinary. You'll see them in every college. They're offered in every college for students to enroll in. Students will graduate with distinction, Latin honors, either cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude. So there's a variety of options to choose from when students are enrolled in the honors program here at the University of Minnesota. When students apply to the university, they're automatically considered for the honors program, general admission, and university-wide scholarships. There are no separate applications students have to go through. Just submitting your online application is enough to be considered for those options. All right, so moving on. In terms of value at the university, we do provide the value for students in terms of finance. Non-resident students will pay about $19,870 in tuition, while resident students pay about $13,620. Additionally, room and board and the base meal plan of 14 meals per week, it does go by a per meal or a meal per week meal plan. is about $8,312. So those combined are what students pay depending on where you live per academic year. Now there's also value in terms of access to education. Students and their academic advisors can sign what's called a 4-year graduation guarantee. What this says is, I as a student will work as hard as I can to graduate in 4 years, and on the flip side, your academic advisor will work as hard as they can to graduate you in 4 years. Every program at the University of Minnesota is set up for students to graduate in 4 years. Now, if students double major, or my roommate even triple major, this may take students a little longer than the 4 years to eventually graduate, but we do have that option open for students. Additionally, students and or families pay for 13 credits. Anything above 13 is free. So when you see a student maybe minoring or double majoring and they're taking maybe 18 credits a semester, essentially they're taking advantage of those free credits. And I want to also point out quickly, we are one of the best valued public research universities in the country because of the criteria I just outlined. So always keep that value in mind when you're looking at the University of Minnesota and those key points that I touched on. If you do have any questions about this, we're more than happy to answer them. One of the big reasons why I chose the University of Minnesota, one of the largest reasons, were the opportunities. I touched on it earlier in the presentation, but there are over 800 plus student groups at the University of Minnesota. We list them all online. These are fraternities, sororities, club sports, intramural sports, religious groups, academic groups. You name it, we have it. If we don't have it, you can create it. There's even the Culver's Enthusiast Club, the Quidditch Club, so we have kind of those more non-traditional groups that students can partake in, but it is a really great time and a good opportunity for students to get involved. Also, there are leadership and community service opportunities, kind of get in at the grassroots level and connect with the community outside the university. One thing you will learn and find out as a student, the University of Minnesota is very well connected with the surrounding community and the state in general. There are research opportunities. Again, I touched on it a little earlier. The University of Minnesota is one of the top public research universities in the country. Now, a lot of you may be asking yourself, what does that mean for me as an undergraduate? What this means is students can take part in research as an undergraduate. You can even earn a stipend, essentially getting paid for helping out a professor perform their research. It is a really great opportunity, no matter if you're looking at graduate or professional school or even a job out of college. These types of programs and initiatives really kind of foster that transition, whether it be to graduate school or, again, into your first job. There's the multicultural community. A few examples, the Asian American Student Union or the Black Student Union. Really great opportunities for students to get involved, meet new people, network, develop friendships, those types of things. We also have the nation's largest study abroad program, over 300 plus opportunities in 80 plus countries. We will find something that you like. And we like students to go abroad, not just to enjoy the sand and the beaches. If you're in a tropical area, I would encourage that and kind of have fun to try out those things. We also want to make sure you gain a cultural and professional experience outside the States. That really benefits you when you come back to the university and, again, when you apply for that first job. We are the only Big Ten university in a major metropolitan area that has a tremendous amount of benefits. We're rated as one of the top 5 best cities for college graduates consistently. We have, and I'll get into this in a little bit, but we have 19 Fortune 500 companies in the state of Minnesota, 18 of which are in the Twin Cities. That says a lot about our location. We're also rated the #1 biking city in the United States. If you come on campus, whether it be as a student or even on a visit, you will see students riding by on bikes. It is a big thing here at the University of Minnesota. We have bike lanes for students to take advantage of, tons of bike racks. It is something that students do love to do, and people in the state of Minnesota do love to do. We're also rated among the top 5 cities to launch a career. This gets back. One of the things I felt when I came here is a sense of comfort and security, knowing that there is a good chance if I really work hard and apply myself, once I graduate, the environment for job opportunities is very rich. Kind of going off that, career opportunities. We have 6 specialized career centers here at the University of Minnesota. They can help you find internships, mentorships. We even have what's called Gold Pass. It's kind of the university's version of LinkedIn, where they can help just binders line the walls with job opportunities, databases for students to take advantage of. So a lot of great opportunities for students to find that first step, kind of network and find that first job or internship while they're in college or just out of college. I mentioned it earlier, 19 Fortune 500 companies, 18 of which are in the Twin Cities. Target, 3M, Medtronic, General Mills. So a lot of opportunities for students to get involved early on in those companies that, and I should also point this out too, these companies are very well connected with the university. That kind of goes back to our location. Easy transportation. I interned in downtown Minneapolis when I was here as a student. It was about a 10 or 15-minute bus ride. The metropolitan area is about 2 miles off campus. There's also a new light rail being built on campus. That'll take students downtown even quicker than buses can. There are discounts for bus passes students can use. Again, about a 15 or 10-minute bus ride, even quicker if you're on the light rail. For students outside of the state of Minnesota, this light rail will also take you to the airport, both terminals to fly. So really, really great initiative that the university put in, and the light rail will be opening this summer. So keep that in mind when you come and visit or ultimately enroll at the University of Minnesota. So I'll now let the students here talk a little bit about themselves, but again, this is Gabe and Catalina.
Great, awesome. I guess I'll go first. So I'm a second-year student here studying psychology and French studies in our College of Liberal Arts. My hometown is Austin, Minnesota, so not too far from the area.
Hi everyone, my name is Catalina Fawn. I'm a junior from New Berlin, Wisconsin, and I'm studying psychology and family social science.
All right, now we're going to take just a few questions or we will be taking not just a few, any questions you guys have. So I encourage students out there, submit your questions. We're more than happy to answer. And we actually got one here from Samantha. And the question is, what was the highlight of your freshman year experience? And I'll open this up to Gabe and Catalina.
Sure, I can go first. So there's a thing called Welcome Week. It's like a type of orientation the first week before classes start, and you just kind of get shown around campus, which is fairly big, but it's great to see all these buildings that you don't know yet, seeing where your classes are, meeting people in your major, outside your major, within your college, getting exposed to all these different student groups. He was talking about, more than 800 student groups. There's a huge fair with all of them displayed, and you just walk around and check out each booth. There's also a lot of opportunities just to meet more students before your first day of classes so that you have people going in that you know. And I thought that was the best experience going into my freshman year.
My experience is probably during my freshman year. I was really keen on joining a student group, but I wasn't sure which one. And so I also looked at opportunities to volunteer, and then I found out that I could do both of them at the same time. So I went on it's called a Pay It Forward trip, and it's a 9-day service trip during your spring break. So I actually got to go, you stop at 5 cities along the way and do service projects, and then we ended up in DC, and it was my first time there. So it's basically 40 people on a bus doing this trip together, and it's a really awesome experience, and you make a lot of friends along the way too. So that was awesome for my freshman year.
We have another question here from Luke. The question is, what are some cool things about Minneapolis and St. Paul?
Obviously, you're not just confined to the U of M. You've got plenty of options to go. With Metro Transit, it's very easy to get off campus and explore the cities. It's something I did very much so my first year here. So just going to concerts, whether it be First Ave or the Target Center, going out to restaurants. There's so many good restaurants in the area that you can check out of just about any type of food. I've got one of my favorite Ethiopian restaurants just across the river. And then St. Paul, there's a lot of free events that go on in downtown St. Paul. For example, the ice skating, you can go there for free with some friends and just ice skate for free and check out the ice sculptures and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with everything that Gabe just said. And like the food is probably the number one thing I look out for wherever I go. So my family's actually a huge fan of diners, drive-ins, and dives. So we kind of hit up a lot of the places in the Twin Cities. So it's a good time.
All right, thanks guys. We have another question here from Nick. How big is the typical class size, and how do you connect with professors?
The class sizes, the intro classes can sometimes be a little larger, but about 85% of our classes are less than 50 students, which is really nice, especially for language courses. So it's really it's really easy to connect with professors. You just have to have the initiative. They always have office hours available for students. So they're definitely very approachable. And I know a lot of professors who I've talked to who say that their office hours are underutilized. So I would definitely encourage you to go see your professors. It's great when they can put a face to a name and you really build those connections, and they're good for references and a lot of great opportunities when you talk to them as well. So I would say it's pretty easy to connect to them. You just have to take the initiative to do so.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just introducing yourself on day one to your professor really helps a lot, so they know who you are when you're turning in your assignments and all that stuff. So that's always helpful as well.
And I would add one thing to that. One of the things at the University of Minnesota with our professors, it's not uncommon to walk by on campus and see a Nobel Prize winner, have a class with a Nobel Prize winner, or be studying from the very book that your professor wrote.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something really, really interesting at the University of Minnesota that I, as a student coming in, didn't really realize kind of the enormity of where you are and just the academic excellence that you are a part of. So we just got another question from Jesse. The question is, how diverse is your student body?
I think it's really diverse, which I find really awesome. Actually, my freshman year, actually, as a student studying psychology and family social science, diversity is something that's really important to me. And so we actually have a living learning community called Students Crossing Borders, and living learning communities are an opportunity that you have in our housing and residential life to live with people with the similar interests as you. And so basically, Student Crossing Borders is when national students live with international students. And so my freshman year, my roommate was actually an exchange student from Lebanon. So it was really interesting because you're exposed to a variety of languages and cultures on a daily basis. And she actually experienced her first winter that year. So it's really awesome kind of having the opportunity to help someone through that and learning about other people's cultures as well. But it's definitely something that happens on a daily basis, even since living in that living learning community.
Yeah, we have so many different cultural student groups on campus, and they're always doing something, displaying, celebrating their culture, whether it be through music, events with food. I think every event has food at it, or just some other cultural piece, art. And also, they also have services here at the University of Minnesota just to support multicultural students and to foster that diversity on campus. So, for example, the Multicultural Center for Academic Excellence is a great resource for students to get free tutoring, just a nice lounge to study. There's a lot of different programs within there that help connect students to, to services on campus, and then even out of campus, whether it be mentoring or tutoring other students. And there's just a few other programs on campus as well that do similar services. And additionally, there may or may not just be an awesome group that I do have a vice president. It is my own group. It's the Latino International Student Association. And so this group is, students from all over Latin America, Spain, Portugal, and they just come in connecting not just with students on campus and students, from their countries, but just in general, the entire student body, and then the greater Twin Cities area. So it's a great melting pot.
Thanks, guys. The next question is from Jamie. Can you talk about your study abroad program?
I have not studied abroad yet, but I just got accepted into a program yesterday. So the great thing about our study abroad program, like Alex said it earlier, it is the largest in the nation. So with that is a lot of flexibility. So I know a lot of my friends who have studied abroad for whole semesters. You can do the whole summer. We also have 3-week periods during winter break, and then I'm studying abroad 3 weeks in May, which is nice because after the spring semester ends, then I get to go abroad for 3 weeks and then come back and still work over the summer and do things like that. So my trip is actually a 3-week hike through Spain, which sounds highly ambitious even to me, but I'm really excited. And the nice thing about that is that you're learning a lot. It's a 3-week period, so it's nice and condensed. It's smaller groups of people, which is great because you get to make those connections along the way. And then it's actually a class that is studying kind of the journey of the Crusades. So it also covers my historical perspective liberal education requirement, which is actually my last one that I need before I graduate. So I'm very excited because I get to take that trip, study abroad, which is something I've always wanted to do, and get that requirement taken care of as well. So I'm really excited.
And then for myself, obviously as a French studies major. It's important for me to go abroad, and so I'll be going to Spain or to France next fall. And that was something that going into it, I knew that it was something I wanted to do. In the U of M, knowing that it had the largest study abroad program was definitely something that kind of pulled me towards making that decision of coming to the U of M. And yeah.
All right. The next question is from Ha. This is a good question. They asked, what advice would you give your high school self about college?
I would say, at least for me, the greatest challenge was taking initiative. I was never one of those students that really raised their hand or went out of their way to do something in high school, and I think that's something that really it helps you thrive in college, and it's something that you'll learn either way. So I think that just taking the initiative, if you know what you want, especially at a great university where there's so many opportunities, if you know what you want, there's always a way to get it. You just have to work for it. And so I think taking initiative to do things like joining student groups or going to professors' office hours is something that'll really be valuable for you to learn in college.
I would say just challenging yourself to explore other options, getting out of your comfort zone. I feel like there's a lot of personal development that goes on there when you get out of your comfort zone and explore new things. You really see different opportunities out there that you may have not seen otherwise, and it could even change your career choices and what you want to be doing for your major for your 4 years here. So I would just say that.
Jake asks, what are your most popular majors?
Psychology.
Psychology.
Psychology, yeah. Psychology is our most popular major, and I think economics comes fairly close.
We have a lot of really highly ranked programs in our various 7 freshman admitting colleges. So I know chemical engineering has been top 3 in the nation for a long time. Psychology is really popular. We have a really great research culture on campus, and so a lot of majors thrive based on the research that our professors are doing on campus. So I think that, I mean, either way, any major that you choose, there's a way to get involved in research, but there's a lot of great opportunities, I'd say.
And just to add to that too, if you look at kind of the colleges, the College of Liberal Arts is our largest college on campus. It houses the most majors. They mentioned psychology, political science or poli-sci is very popular. They also mentioned economics. So that's a big thing. Also in the College of Liberal Arts, our journalism program. We have a School of Journalism and Mass Communication, which to kind of, if you think of it in a tiered approach, you have the university at the top, our 7 freshman admitting colleges that make up the university, and then the School of Journalism and Mass Communication is within the College of Liberal Arts. Journalism is a popular major for students. That was actually where I got my degree from, so the School of Journalism and Mass Communication, I'm a proud alum. If you look at the Carlson School of Management, marketing is very popular, finance, also a popular major there. If you're looking at the College of Biological Sciences, biology is very popular. Students in the College of Biological Sciences, they also, you find a few that are interested in pursuing medical school. However, I must also point out with that is medical school, law school, pharmacy school, those are pre-professional tracks. You do not need to be in the College of Biological Sciences, let's say, to pursue medical school. You can really enroll in any major you want. It's just a matter of taking the required courses that will prepare you for medical school, pharmacy school, things like that. If you look at the College of Science and Engineering, mechanical engineering is popular, civil engineering is popular. Again, another college at the University of Minnesota. So there are just a few there that are popular among students. College of Education and Human Development, kinesiology is very popular there. So I encourage students to also check out our course catalog online. It lists all of our majors, and the corresponding colleges with that. So a great resource if you kind of want to explore, see what the major is about a little bit more. So I do highly encourage that. We have another question here from Kelsey. What are Big Ten game days like at the University of Minnesota?
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's great being a part of a Big Ten university. Not necessarily, you don't have to love the sport. Like, I honestly probably know shamefully little about the game of football.
Okay.
But it's just a really great atmosphere, a lot of spirit, which I think is just like amazing to see everyone come together wearing maroon and gold. It's just a really fun time to just hang out with friends, and I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. You know, coming from my high school, I didn't have the most school spirit, but at the U of M, it's hard not to when you know, you've got these huge sports teams doing very well. So in any sport that you might be interested in.
And when you look at our campus, if any of you guys come for a visit, our football stadium, which was just built in 2008, our basketball arena, our hockey arena, our volleyball arena, they're all within a block of each other. So on any given game day, it is a fun place to be.
Yep.
Our next question is from Noah. What types of opportunities are available outside the classroom at the University of Minnesota?
There are so many. It's kind of it's a challenge in itself because you have to narrow it down all the things that you want to do. But it's really great. There's opportunities for internships, jobs on campus and off campus. You can volunteer, join student groups.
Yeah.
It's really endless. Like I said earlier, kind of if you want to do it, there's probably a way to do it. So, like I've volunteered through the Y for a semester. I've had a couple of student jobs on campus. I have been part of student groups, and just it's a good time. It's kind of amazing all the things you can do actually.
Yeah, I've volunteered all 2 years that I've been here in South Minneapolis, which is again easy with Metro Transit, very manageable. And I've also been involved with research on campus. So last semester I was I was doing research in the Institute of Child Development, which is it's a top ranked institute in the country. So doing research with child psychology, which isn't in my major, but it's close enough that I can get credit for that within my major. And then this semester I'm doing some research with another mentor that I had a class with. So it's been great doing. Yeah, you can definitely do things, many more things outside the classroom than just read.
All right, this next question comes from Ha. They asked opportunities to volunteer, mentor, shadow, tutor nearby.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. I know I am not, let's see, I was kind of looking for different ways to volunteer, and we have a great community learning center on campus. And so if you are kind of interested but undecided as to what to do, like me, they're a really great resource for kind of matching you up for opportunities that align with your interests as well as your time availability. So like I said, I was a Y mentor, and so I went to after school programs twice a week for a semester, and I helped students with their after school programs and their homework and things like that. So it was really great because being from Wisconsin, it was a really great way for me to kind of build ties into the local community as well. So kind of going out to the city and volunteering was a great opportunity for me to get to know the area.
Yeah, as far as mentorships go, I do have 2 mentors on campus, so 2 people within my field that you know, give me advice on maybe directions for graduate school or what type of research I should be looking into. And I'm doing research with one of them right now, and it's just great to have somebody within your department to give you that extra advice that you might not get from another student or other sources. And again, I already talked a little about my volunteering in South Minneapolis, but I know there's a good amount of programs that are very flexible. You know, I think just for any job on campus and off campus as a student, most people understand that you're a student first, and they don't ask you to work 50 hours a week. They're flexible. If you tell them you don't need to really work this week or only work a few hours this week, it's very manageable, definitely.
Thanks, guys. This next question comes from Aaron. Can you say more about the job market in the Twin Cities?
I would say I don't know. We just keep talking about all the opportunities that are available, and it's really true as like crazy as it sounds, but there's a lot of connections to be made on campus and off campus, and through things like volunteering and internships, you really learn about all the opportunities on campus. We also have student employment websites and Gold Pass, like Alex talked about earlier, that connects internships off campus and around the nation to students at the U of M. So just a lot of possibilities in any major, really.
Yeah, and a lot of these internships, you know, that you can get with companies are not